But let's go back to wolves and use this as an example that we can role play here. Give us a flavor of what these conversations and debates and fights may look like. So this delisting or downlisting proposal, where do you kind of come at this? What's your approach here? What's your view?
Well, our approach is that the state has a wolf management plan that it spent a lot of time and resources in developing in 2011. And that management plan includes standards for downlisting wolves. They're pretty low, minimal standards, as the plan itself admits. But the standards include, before you can downlist, either threatened or sensitive, and the department is proposing a double downlisting all the way from endangered to sensitive. Before you can downlist at all, there needs to be a certain number of breeding pairs of wolves for a period of at least 3 years in each of 3 recovery zones, and that's an Eastern Recovery Zone, North Cascades Recovery Zone, and South Cascades Coastal Recovery Zone. We have wolves that have met those standards in 2 of the 3, in the Eastern and the North Cascades. But to date, there has never been a single breeding pair in the South Cascades Coastal Recovery Zone. So I think everyone agrees wolves have not met the standards for downlisting in the recovery plan. In our view, wolves have also not met the standards for downlisting according to state law, which says that a species should be considered endangered as long as it is either extinct or threatened with extinction through a significant portion of its range. The South Cascades and coastal area where wolves have been largely absent. We learned last weekend that there may be 3 wolves now in that area that we've seen. That's the largest recovery zone with the most good wolf habitat in the state. And wolves are not only threatened with extinction, they are functionally extinct in that. And we think that is a significant recovery, a significant portion of their range that is essential to long-term wolf survival. So we're not questioning, as the department often says, that Washington has made progress. In the last decade, we've made enormous progress toward wolf recovery, but we aren't there yet. And just because of our impatience to say that we're there, we shouldn't move the goalposts so that we can claim victory early. We should, stick with the course of action that has allowed wolves to recover as they have so far.
Okay. Dan, what's your view of this?
Well, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers is not a wolf-focused organization. We leave that to better and more interested people than us in that, because there are a lot of people who are in organizations who are really focused on wolves. I do think that the recovery plan did map out everything that Claire talked about, and I think what's interesting there is the success that we've seen, where we have seen success in the northeast corner and the southeast area. And maybe a need for adaptive management. Maybe that what we said we wanted 10 years ago, what we hope to see isn't how things played out on the ground. And that, but on the other hand, that's also a reason to celebrate. Washington manages wolves arguably better than anywhere else in the United States. We have a rapidly expanding population. They are migrating on their own back into those other territories. Maybe there are things we could do to move them faster. I think things like wildlife crossings probably that didn't exist 10 years ago probably didn't help those wolves move around. I think when we talk about wolves and where they're at in Washington, we get excited. It energizes people. It's an iconic species. But I also like to talk about, because it's valid in that same conversation, that we've also seen the extirpation of local extinction of a large mammal, caribou, in that same time span. And for all this energy and controversy that we put into wolves, we are actually facing true crises in other animals. So I'm not the right person to ever ask about downlisting. I think that, when we succeed, and I do think Washington is succeeding, there's a reason to celebrate that success and maybe take some of the attention off wolves so we can start focusing in other places on other species that might need it more.
They do take a lot of the oxygen up in the room. You can check out the rest of the show by clicking on the link below or by watching Inside Olympia Thursday evenings at 7 and 10.